Welcome to another thought for the day. I'm wearing an old England thought because thinking about the land of England today. At the weekend I was having a walk with the three dogs, Sasha, Sadie and Ace. And when we got to the bottom of this big long field, there was a patch of land that had just been completely crusted over. It was all cracked, the soil. And I was marvelling at the I noticed this in my own garden the other week, when it was we had those 2 weeks of just no rain whatsoever. It just started to crack, the cracks opened up. And then, at the end of those 2 weeks, the rain came, and it meant that, unlike previous weeks where the ground had just hardened because the lads had been playing football on it and compacting it, and the water just run off to the trees, and the soil just didn't get any water, this naturally had cracked open. And it meant that when the rains came, the water just went straight into the cracks, which fed the grass, or what little grass was left, which I just marvelled at the time. Thought, that's great, that. It's another one of God's great designs in his creation to make the parched land crack open so it can just receive the rainwater straight where it's needed, rather than it all running off. But at the weekend, I saw it on a massive, much bigger scale, and I'll post a clip, a photo, in the comments to show you just how big it was, because it was at the bottom of this farmer's field and it was on a much greater scale. And I got to thinking, do you know what? There's an illustration here of what our land is like. At the moment we're struck with this coronavirus, and it's leaving people, broken and empty, and the cracks are starting to appear. But those cracks that are opening up, I believe, ready to receive the word of the Lord. I think people are thirsty now for some answers. They're thirsty for the truth. And I believe, during this process and towards the end of this process, people are going to be ready and thirsty for the word of God. And I pray that's the case. And just like when the rains come and the water just goes straight into those cracks and it heals it all up and it grows again. That's what I want for people in England and around the world.